Once again, I'll ask you all, please, to turn off your microphones. Thank you very much.
Shakira Abassi, that's you, mate. Thank you.
Okay. First question. Shahid, do you want to take up where we left off before, please?
Yeah, please.
Just bear with me 2 secs.
No worries.
I'll keep walking in and out if you don't close it. Sorry, just trying to help Mergers out.
No, no problem. Are you ready, Usman?
We're ready. Let's go.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Just there's been a lot of talk on this tour being your homecoming tour. What are your feelings, and were there any words from the big boss, your father? Because every father thinks he's a better player.
Please turn off your microphones. Thank you very much.
Sorry, there's a bit of noise there. No, my father definitely, he loves cricket. He's been watching it his whole life, all the way from Pakistan, all the way coming to Australia. I think he's very excited that I get to play in Pakistan. I think part of him really wanted to come out to Pakistan. Circumstances had it that, he's not coming out. But I think both my mum and dad really wanted to come out and watch, particularly here in Islamabad, where we ended up living, and Karachi, where my entire family is from. So they really wanted to come out. They were really excited. But hopefully he can put on a good show and he can enjoy it from the comfort of his living room.
Adris Malik, please.
Thank you, Usman. Definitely you are in a great touch in this year, especially in 2022, as you played 2 centuries against the England. So first, you tell me what is the difference between Pakistan Super League playing at Islamabad and now the series for Australia? And secondly, do you have any wish to play 100 against Pakistan at your birthplace?
The PSL was a little bit different for me because it was in Abu Dhabi. Obviously wanted to come to Pakistan to play, but last year COVID was still running quite rampant time, so they moved to Abu Dhabi. So it would have been nice to play in Pakistan, but I get to play in Pakistan now. So something I've always wanted. Played a series game against him. So for me, I think it's more about, the wickets we're going to play on are very new to all of us. The bowlers we played against mostly, but at the same time, we've never played in Pakistan. So it's going to be interesting to see how quickly we can adapt to the conditions. I think that first test match will be really important for us. Playing at Rawalpindi, looking from the past, it's been quite a fast bowler friendly wicket. Whether or not we get that this time, we'll wait to see, but everything so far has been really good.
Thank you very much. I hope so I get this answer when I get the recording, because you are muted sometime.
I think Brian will sort that out, don't worry.
No, it's okay, it's okay, no worries. We get the recording, no problem.
Moe Shah, please.
Yeah, this is Moisha from the news. What general expectations are from Australian playing in Pakistan? How you feel pitches will behave, whether it will help spinner or fast bowlers? And secondly, what about your role for the Australians in the series?
As I said, we're not really 100% sure what the wicket's going to be like because we haven't seen it yet. But if we look at the past, it's been quite favourable to the fast bowlers, and recently spinners have gone into the game too. But when you look at other subcontinental countries, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, India, spinners quite dominate. But it makes sense. Pakistan's always produced some really good fast bowlers. So it makes sense the wickets are conducive to fast bowling in some respects. So it's a little bit different than the other subcontinent times we've played, I think, if the wicket's the same. But we haven't been out of the hotel yet. So I think our first training session is tomorrow. We might get a look at the wicket for the first time. So Up until then, we won't really know. But for me, it's not too dissimilar. Go out back, try to score as many runs as I can, and then go from there. Nothing really changing much for me.
Tom Deason, please.
Hey, Usman. Look, I appreciate it's only been 24 hours, but is it what you expected hopping off the plane and being transported to the hotel? And can you just paint a picture of what the setup's like here at the hotel? Obviously, it's going to be a home away from home for a while.
Yeah, look, we're not. It's quite similar. Even if we go to India or Bangladesh, we weren't really allowed outside the hotel room much anyway. So other than training and playing games, it's pretty similar. I think, the boys got everything set up. They've got a coffee machine right there. I'm looking at it right now. I think they're pretty happy about that. We all are. We've got a games room upstairs. There's a golfing sim. There's pool table. We have lunch there too. So in the hotel, we've tried to make it as friendly as possible. Guys to get out of their room, get social. Other than that, it'll be about training. Once the games start, it'll just be about the games, and then it'll be 3 games pretty quick together. So there won't be too much time to do anything else anyway. So it's not too dissimilar than the other subcontinental sort of countries we've toured. Obviously, there's a lot of security around us, but they hide pretty well in plain sight. We can't really see too much at the moment. So I think they're doing a pretty good job at just being around but not being seen.
Christy Doran, please.
Hi, Osman. Can you just following up on Tom's question there? Are you going to be able to see any kind of extended family members across the tour, whether it's at the team hotel or training facilities? And just secondly, that century you scored against Pakistan really seemed like a pivotal moment in your career. When you think about the fact that you're playing Pakistan again, with that in mind, was that one of the centuries that you look back and you go, that was one of your favourite innings?
Look, for the first question, I think we're in a security bubble anyway, so I don't think there's any chance to see anyone around, family or not family. But quite strict. It's fair enough too, so probably no to that question. What was the second one? It was about the century. Yeah, look, any century for Australia is pretty amazing. I guess the century at that time, everything that happened beforehand, and then going to Dubai and scoring that was very special. But I don't want to live in the past too much. It was a few years ago. I loved it, had a lot of fun. I try to stay quite present. Another 3 test matches coming now. I'm really enjoying my cricket at the moment. I'm loving playing test cricket. I'm loving playing cricket for Queensland, back home. I'm in a really good spot. So to me, it's just, you say it, but it's just another game for me. So that's the way I'm taking it.
Thanks.
Mel Farrell, please.
Thanks, Megas. Hi, Uzi. Just a couple of things sort of following on from that. Just wondering if you can reflect on the timing of your great form in the Ashes coming in kind of at an ideal time, I guess, for this tour. Just wondering if you can reflect, or if you've reflected sort of on that really good timing. Or also just wondering, did any of you watch the PSL final last night? Did you have a bit of a get together and do that, or were you too shattered?
I think the timing wasn't that big of a deal. I still felt like I would have gone on the tour even as a reserve batsman if I wasn't in the team, having been successful in the subcontinent before in both red ball and white ball cricket for Australia, and in Aussie A stuff. So for me, I wasn't too hung up on that. I was just making sure I was ready if I got the chance, to give myself the best chance to score. So, I mean, the timing, I guess the best timing was the fact that I got picked in an Ashes squad last year, just before a Pakistan tour, that we weren't even sure was going to happen at the time. So I wasn't thinking too far ahead. For the PSL, I think a lot of the guys did their own thing. I watched highlights this morning. Everyone slept at different times. Everyone woke up at different times. I think I woke up the latest. I won again. Best sleeper in the team, still hold the record. So I think everyone was getting up at 5, 6, and I got till 8 a.m. this morning. So I think everyone was doing their own thing for the PSL, but I reckon everyone would have got around to watching the highlights.
Congratulations on winning that one.
Yeah. Number one sleeper. Thank you.
Sam Joden, please.
Thank you. Hey, Usman. Hope you're going well, mate. it sounds as though that you're really trying to approach this tour, and I guess this first test is just being another match. Like, is there a concerted effort for you not to kind of buy into the sentimentality behind it, or is there a certain sentimentality there for you?
No, any test match, any game is just another match. It's just a game of cricket. I've played it for such a long time now. I've been out of team. I'm back in a team. Every game for me now for Australia is just a bonus. I'm not out here to prove anyone different. I've got a beautiful family back home. I've got a lot of things that are great in my life that's not cricket related. So for me, it's not the be it end all. I just love playing cricket, love being competitive. The fact that I'm playing Pakistan is special. Don't get me wrong, it's very special. Something I've always wanted to do. I grew up, as I said, down the road. So yeah, there is that bit of sentiment, definitely. But once the game starts, you don't really think about that stuff. You're more worried about the ball coming down, everything else going on. Test match happens like that. I'm sure I'll look back on it and be like, that's pretty cool. I got to play, first tour in Pakistan after so many years, being born in Pakistan. That's fate would have it. Everything's worked out beautifully, touch wood. I don't hurt myself before the first test match. But so things have worked out really well, but it's hard to sort of become too reminiscent at the time because you still got to prepare to play a game of cricket and stay in the present. So yeah, a bit of both, I think, from your question.
Cheers, Usman. All the best, mate.
Thank you.
Louis Cameron, please.
Hey, Usman, I just wanted to ask you about one of those bowlers who you might be facing on Friday, Harris Ralph, who obviously hasn't played Test cricket yet, but he might be in the mix. I mean, you were playing that game when he took the hat-trick against the Thunder a few seasons ago and probably faced him a little bit. How do you reckon his skills would translate over to Test cricket?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I've never obviously faced him in red ball cricket. I haven't really seen too much of him in red ball cricket. He's got very good skills. He's very fast. I'll be interested to see if he does play, how it happens. You've got to respect anyone in Test cricket. I know, very cliched response, but you do. People don't make Test cricket cricketers. So whoever we face, there'll be a lot of respect shown. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's always fun facing someone with a bit of speed if he does play. But I honestly I'm not really sure what to expect because the way he bowls in T20, I'm sure it's going to get a go. I think we're all going to.
Andrew McCall, please.
Thanks, mate. Hey, Usman. Just confirming, mate, are you going to open the batting? Is that the plan with you and Davey?
If I play, I assume so. Yeah, I haven't heard anything different.
Yeah, and just, I mean, you've got, 3 or 4 days just to prepare. I mean, from a batsman's point of view, I know you guys had some sessions in Melbourne and you've been batting in the Shield, but, I mean, what's it going to be like? I mean, you're not going to have too much time really to get ready before you face potentially, a first over in a Test match.
Yeah, look, I think we've got to be adaptable. I think it's not the worst thing. We've been on lots of subcontinent tours where we've had 2 weeks preparation. I still haven't done great. So maybe this might be the way to go. We're going to have to wait and see. I think we're all, obviously very good cricketers. Got to learn how to adapt to different conditions. It's always tougher the first time when you come to subcontinent. I think a lot of guys here, though, it's their 3rd, 4th, 5th time, 6th time to subcontinent for an Australian team. So there's plenty of experience to draw on from past series, which is probably the biggest thing when you're playing overseas games. A couple of young guys here, but I think if you can draw from these experiences, there's only so much you can train before a Test match anyway. So I'm actually quite looking forward to a short build up this time to see how it goes. So I think there might be, it could be a blessing in disguise. Who knows, or it might not be, but we're going to find out.
No, fair enough. And just quickly, is there a real buzz in the team, given it's a 24-year first? I mean, it's not often that you go to a place where guys haven't been before.
I guess there is and there isn't, because at the end of the day, as I said, it is still a cricket match. I think the guys, Paddy and the rest of the team, understand the significance of coming back to Pakistan after such a long time. Hopefully it's going to be a great tour. Hopefully we'll get a really good crowd out watching. there's a bit of buzz and excitement because there's two really good teams facing each other. Yeah, I know traveling with the Australian cricket team, playing all around the world, that everywhere the Australian cricket team goes usually creates a lot of buzz. So fingers crossed the same thing can happen here, because it's a series that hasn't happened for a very long time. A lot of these players, a few of them won't ever come back to Pakistan again, I don't reckon, in terms of where they are in their careers, back into their careers, etc., etc. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty special, I think.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Just to mention again, please, if your cameras are on, can you please turn your cameras off? Thank you very much indeed. Andrew Ramsey, please.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, Usman. You've alluded to it a couple of times in this chat, but you didn't enjoy the best of trips to Sri Lanka and then Bangladesh. Is there something sort of technical or mindset-wise that you learned from those trips that enabled you to play that innings in Dubai, even though it's completely different conditions on those sort of pitches? Is there something you gleaned from those earlier trips?
I think you just learn day in, day out about what works and what doesn't. It's both a mindset and a technical analysis sort of thing. If you don't, then you're just going to make the same mistakes over and over again. I took onus on myself. I wasn't going to listen to anyone else about how I needed to bat the subcontinent. I tried that and failed. So I made sure that I did learn from it. It wasn't just a Dubai series. I've been to Indian A series in India, scored hundreds in India for India A series, and white ball series. I was playing the series there against India a couple of white ball series ago. So, and then obviously playing well in Dubai. It wasn't just a one-off in Dubai. I've done it time and time again in different teams. So there's a lot of work that went into it. I guess at the end of the day, that was like 5 years ago, both the series, 5-6 years ago. And yeah, they were great learning experiences. If I didn't have those experiences, I probably wouldn't be able to develop a game where I thought I give myself the best opportunity to score. There's nothing certain in cricket. You can have all those skills and still certain things don't go your way here and there. You always need a bit of luck. So it's a combination of both, but at least I know I give myself the best chance now to score in these conditions and to know what I need to do. And then if it doesn't work out from there, I can live with that. Where beforehand, when I was in Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, I probably didn't really understand what I needed to do in those conditions. And I'm not going to lie, it's quite tough work back then.
Tim Miller, please.
G'day and thanks. Uzi, you mentioned the fans before. I'm just wondering what sort of reception you're expecting to get out in Rawalpindi, given your heritage, but also given the fact that on Friday you'll be the opposition.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've got a lot of support here in Pakistan always. I think I've said it before. I think they'll support me. I think they'll hope I get runs, but I think they'll be hoping Australia gets smashed at the same time. So it's going to be one of those catch-22s. Look, it's pretty special. I even I know where the Rawalpindi ground is. I think I've got a couple of photos when I was younger at the Rawalpindi, the old Rawalpindi ground. Yeah, it's a place that was obviously very close. I grew up here. My parents obviously from Karachi. That holds a special spot in my heart too. But being born here, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool walking out there, playing the game. But I don't expect a hostile crowd. I think Pakistanis love their cricket. They appreciate good cricket, and I think that's what they'll be hoping for.
Thanks, Uzi.
Raj, please.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, Uzi. You've played cricket in India. How different do you think this would be, especially the kind of approach you might have when you walk out to the crease?
I'm not sure. I think it's pretty similar. It's 22 yards, bowler coming down. That part never changes around the world. Crowds are quite loud, usually in subcontinent, which is great for the game. Honestly, I don't think there'll be too many different things. At the end of the day, cricket is still cricket, whether you play in Australia, Sri Lanka, West Indies, England, Pakistan. The game's still the same. So without complicating it too much, I can't imagine it'd be too different.
Adris Malik, please.
Thank you, Brian. Usman, once again, last time voice was muted, but if you don't mind, please, there is some special message for your fans because the Pakistan is a cricket loving nation and everyone in the Australian camp was very much aware about it. Your message to fans of Pakistan, if you do it in Urdu, I appreciate it.
Ooh, okay. I guess मैं कह दूंगा कि हमें बहुत शौक आ रहा है ऑस्ट्रेलिया से आके यहाँ पाकिस्तान में खेलना, रावलपिंडी में खेलना। जब मैं पैदा हुआ था इस्लामाबाद में, मैं ग्राउंड पे खेला भी था। जब मैं छोटा था मैं ग्राउंड पे गया था रावलपिंडी में। तो वापस आने में मैं भी बहुत एक्साइटेड हूँ, सारे मेरे टीम मेट्स भी बहुत एक्साइटेड हैं। जो टीम हमारे पास है, some of the best players in the world हमारी टीम में खेल रहे हैं अभी, और बहुत जी चाह रहा है पाकिस्तान के साथ खेले, especially in Pakistan। ऑस्ट्रेलिया में तो खेला हुआ है, पाकिस्तान अपने own conditions में खेला हुआ नहीं है। तो बहुत सारे I'm looking forward to it and I'm also hoping कि crowd भी काफी अच्छा है। packed out stadium, हमारे लिए जितने भी और लोग आते हैं सपोर्ट करेंगे पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट को, ऑस्ट्रेलियन क्रिकेट को, वर्ल्ड क्रिकेट को। आई थिंक सबको शौक आ रहा है। सो इंशाल्लाह सबको वहाँ देखेंगे और मैच अच्छा होगा और ऑस्ट्रेलिया जीतेगा।
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes.
3 more questions now, please. First of all, Andy McLean.
Hi, Osman. Andy McLean. This is my first trip to Pakistan, and my Urdu is not that flash, so you may have just answered my question. But one thing that strikes me about this tour is I think it's the 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. I think Zimbabwe, South Africa, now Australia are returning to Pakistan since what happened with the Sri Lanka team in 2009. What's your feeling as a I know you're an Australian player, but perhaps a Pakistan fan, just about how amazing it is that cricket is returning to Pakistan after so many years of the fans being deprived?
I think it's amazing for the fans. I know how I'd feel in Australia if cricket was taken away from us. There'd be some very lonely summers, pretty boring summers if I'm being honest. I feel for the fans, and you know how much they love cricket in the subcontinent. I think that Pakistan's been deprived a fair bit. It's been disappointing. I understand why. They're still playing overseas, but it's not the same. You want to be able to see in home grounds, your own conditions, go out and watch, take your kids, do all that kind of stuff, which Pakistanis haven't been able to do. It's been disappointing, both in terms of players obviously not being able to come out to Pakistan to play. I've said it before, I've also found it really disappointing that India and Pakistan don't play. Growing up, being from had massive Pakistan, but I think those favorite games is in Pakistan. Obviously back here, I think hopefully the goal is to get those two nations playing together, because we all know what competition and what great camaraderie comes from that. So I think hopefully we can get this box ticked, and then that's the next goal for Pakistan cricket, I guess.
Great answer. Thank you, Osman.
2 more. Shakir Abbasi, please. Shakir Abbasi, please.
Hello, you can hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Ben. Shakir Abbasi from New
My question, Badu Zama from me.
Usman, other than cricket, as you mentioned that you were born in Rawalpindi, Islamabad, your role as a local guide and a Pakistani chef for other guys, are you enjoying your role? And secondly, tell us about the last night. Did you guys watch PSL final together? Are there any arrangement in the hotel for you guys? And tell us about the quality of cricket and the level of PSL as a league. Thank you.
What was the first question? Sorry.
My first question was, other than cricket, your role as local guide and a Pakistani chef for other guys. Are you enjoying your role?
I don't really think that is my role, but I think guys ask me a few questions here and there, but I know some of them and some of them I don't. I got to remind them, look, I'm Australian. I've grown up in Australia my whole life, pretty much. I know bits and pieces. Obviously, I grew up in a very Pakistani very Pakistani culture in my house. My parents still have very strong Pakistani values. I think as a lot of subcontinent families do, particularly in Australia. I have a lot of friends from India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. They all hold strong to the subcontinent values. So we all laugh about that because it doesn't matter where you go. Desis will still be Desis. So yeah, look, that part is there, but the boys have been pretty respectful. As I said, I only know so much. Google usually has all the answers. PSL, I guess I've answered the first question, but I guess PSL as a league, I think it's right up there as one of the world class leagues around the world. Fast bowling, Pakistan's always unbelievable. You add a few international cricketers onto that. Yeah, it's very strong. Obviously, IPL is the strongest in the world. That's hands down. That's not really a contest there because, again, at the end of the day, they have all the world come to them, and they're the only league in the world that have Indian cricketers, so that ends up becoming the best league in the world. And then the other leagues that sort of think, I think of BBL, I think of PSL, 100 down, CPL. They're all quality leagues, and everyone wants to play them. So, the one thing that obviously I've said before is, that we all know that Pakistan's fast bowling, bowlers that they bring up are always good. So that's probably the strength of the league.
Zahid Farooq Malik, please.
Mr. Khwaja, first of all, welcome to Pakistan. How you feel when you are here in Pakistan, your homeland, and anybody says you welcome to your homeland? Australian team coming 24 years back after, and in this period, how many times you have visited Pakistan but not with the Australian team? What was your feeling, and now how you feeling? One cricket question. Australian team coming here to beat convincingly to England, and Pakistan team and not play test matches from a long time. How you see this contest? And if you like, first question in Urdu is nice to our local audience.
You might need to bring that down to one question. I'm a bit confused. You might give me one question. Tell me what you want to answer. There was too much happening there. You still there?
My first question was, you are here, Australian team coming back Pakistan after 24 years. In this period, how many times you visited Pakistan but not with the Australian team? What was your feeling?
I visited here, I think 4 times. Last time was 2010. So from 1991, I think I came back with my family 4 times. The last time was around 2010. So I haven't been back to Pakistan in 12 years. Saw family, visited, and I think that was with my family. And then once I got a bit older and started playing cricket professionally, it got harder and harder to take time off. We only get 2 months of the year off where we can do anything. It was either spent time at home or I went on holiday somewhere closer to Australia. So I did visit Pakistan 4 times since my parents left. We came to Islamabad a few times, and Karachi, where most of my family is. So yeah, we did visit a little bit.
And
last question now, please. Badi Usmana. Badi?
मैं उस्मान उर्दू में सवाल कर सकता हूँ?
हाँ, कर दें।
उस्मान, ये बताइएगा, आपका दिल जो है वो पाकिस्तानियों के साथ धड़कता है, खेलते आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया से, कभी ये ख्वाहिश पैदा हुई कि यार जाऊं पाकिस्तान से खेलूं और यहाँ पाए, यहाँ की कंडीशन कैसी है, कौन से बॉलर ऐसे हैं जिन समझते हैं आपको टफ टाइम देंगे, और पाकिस्तानी जो बाबर आजम है उनकी सलाहियतों के बारे में आप क्या कहते हैं?
दिल तो हर वक्त ऑस्ट्रेलिया में ही रहा है। मैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया में पैदा हुआ था, मैं पाकिस्तान में पैदा हुआ था, बाकी ऑस्ट्रेलिया के आई थिंक मैं 4 का था जब मैं आया था, तो पूरी लाइफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया में ही रहा हूँ। जब मैं छोटा था, मेरे पेरेंट्स और भाई पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट सपोर्ट काफ़ी करते थे। ऑब्वियसली वो पाकिस्तान से बहुत साल रहे थे, बाकी slowly वो ऑस्ट्रेलियन के साथ शिफ्ट हो रहा था और मैं ऑस्ट्रेलियन का हर वक्त सपोर्ट करता था मैं ऑस्ट्रेलियन टीम को देखता था जब मैं बड़ा हो रहा था और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ ही खेलूं मैं सारे दोस्त ऑस्ट्रेलिया में थे मेरी पूरी लाइफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया में थी ऑब्वियसली जो कल्चर और इवन उर्दू बोलना मैं अम्मी के साथ अभी तक से उर्दू ही बोलता हूँ बाकी आई थिंक दिल तो हर वक्त ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ था खेलने के लिए और लोगों से पूछते थे पाकिस्तान जाना है खेलना है कि पाकिस्तान जाओ खेलो के मुझे हर वक्त मुझे ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ ही खेलना था और मैं बहुत फॉर्चुनेट था कि मुझे 2010 में जब 24 का था मैंने ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ डेब्यू कर लिया हम लोगों को चांस नहीं मिलता काफ़ी हार्ड होता है ऑब्वियसली पाकिस्तान टीम के लिए भी हार्ड होता है जो भी इंटरनेशनल टीम के साथ खेलो बहुत हार्ड होता है तो जब वो होता है बहुत स्पेशल होता है मेरे लिए स्पेशली क्योंकि मैं पाकिस्तान से आया था इमिग्रेट करके ऑस्ट्रेलिया आया था तो काफ़ी स्पेशल था आई गेस पाकिस्तान टीम के साथ जो उनके बॉलर्स हर वक्त अच्छे होते हैं पाकिस्तान के ऑस्ट्रेलिया की तरह होता है डेप्थ बहुत होती है पाकिस्तान में बॉलर्स हर वक्त आ रहे होते हैं फास्ट बॉलर्स हर वक्त आ रहे होते हैं स्पिनर्स तो उनके पास होते भी हैं बॉलिंग अटैक आई थिंक सिंस मैं बच्चा था मुझे याद है पाकिस्तान की तो बॉलिंग हर वक्त अच्छी होती है तो हम हर वक्त रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं जो भी आता है पाकिस्तान से जो भी बॉलिंग करता है और इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट जब खेल रहे होते हैं कोई वीक बॉलर्स होते नहीं इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट आप खेलते नहीं अगर आप काफ़ी एक्सेप्शनल नहीं है जो ट्रेड है जो भी आप करते हैं तो हमें ये पता है बाबर अज़म क्वालिटी क्रिकेटर है वनडे में ऑब्वियसली कितने बेहतरीन खेला उसने लास्ट फ्यू ईयर फिर वो टेस्ट क्रिकेट में कन्वर्ट कर लिया है लास्ट 2 और 3 इयर्स में तो उसकी वही चैलेंज उन्होंने कर लिया ऑब्वियसली पाकिस्तान का लीड बैट्समैन है बल्कि पाकिस्तान के पास दूसरी काफ़ी अच्छी बैट्समैन है हमें पता है अजहर अली ने हमारे अगेंस्ट काफ़ी रन स्कोर करे थे आई थिंक 4 इयर्स पहले जब ऑस्ट्रेलिया आया था उनके पास बहुत एक्सपीरियंस है मिर्जवान भी अभी बहुत अच्छा खेल रहा है तो पाकिस्तान की टीम रिस्पेक्ट करनी पड़ेगी बॉलर्स भी हैं बैट्समैन भी है और पाकिस्तान का होम ग्राउंड एडवांटेज भी है उनको पता है विकेट्स कैसे खेलते हैं क्या होता है तो ये हमारे लिए इजी सीरीज नहीं होएगा बल्कि हमारी भी काफ़ी अच्छी टीम है खेल रही भी बहुत अच्छी है आई थिंक possibly world number 1 team अभी हैं हम तो or at least around there हम तो हैं तो चैलेंज तो अच्छा होगा but I think सब एक्साइटेड हैं क्योंकि हमारे लिए भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि सब कंट्री में जाओ और खेलो और जीतो हमारा रिकॉर्ड सब कंट्री में लास्ट 10 years तक इतना अच्छा भी नहीं ऑब्वियसली पाकिस्तान में नहीं खेले इंडिया में काफ़ी खेले श्रीलंका और बांग्लादेश बल्कि हमारे लिए भी न्यू चैलेंज होगा
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for your patience this morning. It's very much appreciated, and I'm terribly sorry for all the internet connection issues. Thanks to USMAN as well. Take care, and look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.